Hello everyone, I am Chris Williams, and I'm here with a review of Hulkverines, Issue 1. We'll start off with the cover. It's a good cover. It's just good. It does what it shows. It shows Wolverine and Hulk fighting Weapon H. Underneath the most ridiculous logo Marvel has put out in a comic, I think. Hulkverines. I really hate that name. But it's drawn well. I mean, the cover artists, Greg Land and Frank Diamatti, they did really good with this cover. Even if I think that the very idea of this comic itself is stupid. But it's gone pretty well. It has Weapon H about to square off and about to start slashing at the Hulk. And the first page is, well, they're starting off a first issue of this miniseries with a first page which is just them listing who worked on this comic book. That's great. What it should have been, the first page should have been a full page spread with the characters doing something heroic or something very adventurous. But instead we got a bunch of listing of who worked on this comic book, including the writer, Greg Pak. The real first page, we start off with what looks like a Home Depot, or like it says on its sign, Big Bob's Lounge. But it's actually a Shadow Base remote facility. The Shadow Base is an organization that works for the government. Here, it's a prison, and they are holding a supervillain. Who are they holding? We don't know yet. The agent who had come to see this villain walks up to his cell. He holds a picture saying that the Hulk has returned and that he's killing people. We see something that looks like someone's head. The head looks unusually big. And who else could it be? Well, it's no real brainer there. It's, of course, the Hulk's archenemy, the Leader. And he says, it always comes back to the Hulk, doesn't it? And the agent says, Mr. Stearns. Now, the Leader is playing coy here. He's buttering up the agent, saying things, but not really agreeing to anything. The Leader listens to what the agent has to say to him, and he continues to listen to him, but he ends up getting close enough to him, and he folds a piece of paper, but apparently he hits the agent with such force with the paper, it actually manages to kill the agent. This is rather stupid, but it does fit the Leader being able to brainiac. He probably did something to the paper by folding it in such a way that he could that had just enough strength to pierce his eye and into the agent's brain. I mean, it's stupid, but they had to get some way of getting the Leader out of his cell. And the Leader uses another piece of paper. He throws it in such a way it causes the guard to slip on it, breaking his neck. He then grabs the guard's cell phone. He says, "Now then, I better learn what's going on since I've been in here." Now this is actually all that great. I mean, having the Leader kill two guards with a couple of pieces of paper is a bit dumb, and I wish he had come up with something a bit more clever than that, because I'm not so sure even Stearns, the Leader, could kill two people with a couple of pieces of paper. Maybe making the guard slip, that sounds more reasonable. But stabbing the guy to death with that piece of folded up paper? Come on. Now, here we have the Hulk going up against the Avengers, hoisting Ghost Driver over his head. I mean, I know his name's Ghost Rider, but I still don't like it. And who's watching this? This is apparently a news report being broadcast at a restaurant with the family of Weapon H, the half-breed creation of a mad scientist who has both the powers of the Hulk and Wolverine. Now he's with his family and his kids and and his son saying his father could beat the Hulk up. And, well, Weapon H says, oh, yeah, I agree with that. And they're having fun being a family. And we see what happens with the Bruce Banner after his fight with the Avengers. He's been wandering America again as a fugitive. Here we can see Weapon H and his family having fun while Bruce Banner gets on a bus trying to drive off somewhere. Apparently, we find out later on that Bruce Banner is actually tracking Weapon H somehow. Well, later on, when Bruce Banner locates Weapon H sends his family away because apparently something has happened to him. He's gotten sick for some odd reason, and then Bruce Banner shows up momentarily. As I said, his family is not on their property anymore. He sent them to hide somewhere. Now, he squares off against Bruce Banner and he asks him what does he want. And Bruce Banner says, I've heard you've been losing control. Well, then Weapon H attacks Bruce Banner and he's going to kill him. But Bruce Banner says, we could have done this differently, but it's out of my hands now as his eyes grow green. His powers have changed, and they're back to what they were originally back in the 60s, that he only transforms at night. So, and another thing that happens, not only is he only transforming into the Hulk at night, but he's also being possessed by the Devil Hulk, one of the worst alternate personalities Bruce Banner has. Here we can see the Hulk, or Devil Hulk, facing off against Weapon H, as Weapon H fully transforms into a Hulk with his adamantium claws piercing his hands. Well, they're just, he unleashed his claws. But as I said, this is kind of stupid. Adamantium shouldn't be able to expand like that. It should be the same size all the time. And so he shouldn't be able to transform into a Hulk if he has adamantium bones. Now here we see another new power that the Hulk possesses, the ability to absorb gamma radiation out of people who have Hulk-like powers like him. He was going to take away Weapon H's powers, or at least his Hulk powers. Mainly because it's annoying that someone stole a bit of his power and DNA to create Weapon H. So he was going to destroy him. Now, what happens next? Next is that somehow Weapon H infected the Hulk with the virus he had. As I said earlier, he had been getting sick, but that shouldn't be possible because he's Weapon H. He has both the healing factor of the Hulk and Wolverine, so he shouldn't get sick. But what happens since he's been in physical contact with the Hulk? The Hulk is now infected with it, and now he's losing power. The virus was created by the leader to render the Hulk susceptible to being killed, and he orders Weapon H to kill the Hulk, or he will do something horrible to his family. Of course, this means that he's now pissed off Weapon H, and he screams at him, "Who the hell are you?" before anyone tells him this is the leader. Weapon H's voice is so loud it actually blasts the leader's uniform off of him. After that, he just goes after the leader because he's not going to listen to anyone. He's certainly not going to listen to the leader. He runs after him, transformed back into his more human form, but he still has Wolverine's powers, and he's screaming, "You're dead!" As the leader runs off in fear, his super intelligence has pretty much landed him in this spot. And the artwork here by Ario Arnantato. This is good artwork. I'm really enjoying this issue's art. Well, what happens before Weapon H can kill the leader? Wolverine intervenes, and he gets in Weapon H's way. And here we have it. This is the last page of this first issue, and it has Wolverine about to square off against Weapon H. What could possibly happen in the next issue? Well, I just said it. It's going to be one hell of a good fight. So I'll be back with that review soon. Now, if you like this review, well, I'll say a few more things about this issue. This issue was bland. It was good, but it was a mediocre comic issue for a mediocre series. Now, if you like this review, Subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that bell so you get notifications. Leave some comments down below and leave a like. Now, remember to keep checking in with future videos because I'm going to release my news on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. So keep checking back in future videos for more information. I'm Chris Williams, and I'm signing out.